Hi everyone, welcome to our practice for Santosha, the Niyama of contentment and happiness. It's a sense of freedom that comes from a lack of restlessness. We're going to start our practice in hero pose, sitting on the feet, bringing the spine up tall, and drawing the palms to touch in front of the heart. Slowing your breath. We'll take an inhale, sweep the arms out wide, coming up overhead and drawing the palms together as you slide down the center line back into the heart. Inhale, reach up through center. Exhale, release the arms down to the sides. And then the palms come back into the heart. So we're going to reverse that. Inhale up to the sides. Join the palms, come down through center. Inhale up through center. Exhale down and out to the sides. As the arms come down, clasp the palms together into Yoga Mudra, finding a bit of a back bend, lifting your head, opening the chest, rolling the shoulders back, and keeping the arms back, letting your chin drop down toward your chest, very gently rolling the head to one side, just a few inches, and then over to the other side, creating some softness around your neck. Gently rolling. Coming back through center, release the arms, sweep them up. We'll interlace the fingers and bring the palms to the back of the head, supporting your head as you arch back. On your exhale, draw the belly toward the spine and draw the elbow points together. Inhale, opening the front of the body. Exhale, rolling down, creating space in the back of the body, opening up the back of the heart as you roll down. As you come back and the hands are resting on the back of the head, I think of this as a pose that very much embodies Santosha, that contentment, almost like you're sitting in a hammock with your hands behind your head. We'll take our inhale, sweep the arms up, come back down behind the back into Yoga Mudra. Let your forehead come to rest on the mat. The arms gently sway from side to side, loosening up the shoulders and your upper back. Inhale, come up onto the knees, up into a kneeling version of mountain pose. As you exhale, sweep the arms back, Yoga Mudra, forehead to the mat, hands up toward the sky. Inhale, roll up, kneeling mountain. Keep the fingers really wide as you reach up. Folding back down, clasp the hands behind your back. Forehead to the earth. And knuckles up toward the sky. Inhale, roll up through the body. Feel your inhale creating space. Then mirroring that with the arms. Space as you lift up. Drop the arms. Sit back down into hero pose, and we'll take the arms wide. So we're going to move into a Kundalini Kriya that is made to create a sense of joy. We're going to open the elbows back and then touch the elbow points. Our hands are just resting on the tops of the shoulders. 4 fingers in front of the shoulder, thumb behind the shoulder. We inhale, open, exhale, close. And like most of our Kundalini Kriyas, we put a strong breath behind this. The pace is up to you. It's what you feel comfortable with. But the breath is quite strong. Inhale, exhale. Releasing the arms, stretching them up. Floating down into a cactus position with the elbows wide, the fingers wide, opening through the heart. Sweep the arms down and we'll start to make our way over onto hands and knees, come into table. Looping your shoulders a few times. We're just doing a regular shoulder circle, but it feels a little bit different with the hands down on the floor. You bring a little bit of trunk movement into that. So then we'll roll that into a cat. And then open that into a cow. Bringing a little bend into the elbows as you transition through. We want to feel lots of awareness of what our shoulder blades are doing, our scapula. Very important for upper body stability. Let your toes tuck under. Lift your hips up into downward facing dog. Start to move yourself to settle into your down dog. Then we're going to take an exhale, bend the knees. Press the hips back and up. Create space in your torso. Stepping your right foot gently up in between the hands. And then set yourself up into your high lunge. Create space. Drop your back knee. Left knee settles to the earth. Let your hips settle into it. As you inhale, the arms come up and rest onto the back of the head, like you're relaxing in a hammock. Supporting the weight of your head, opening the elbows, sweeping the arms down, clasp into Yoga Mudra. Great position to create space in the chest. Arms come back up, resting at the back of the head, elbows wide. Release the arms down, clasp the hands behind your back, Yoga Mudra. Opening the arms out in your inhale, finding the back of your head. And then we're going to bring that forward and back movement, just like we did earlier. Inhale, open the front of the body, open the elbows. Exhale, belly button draws back toward the spine. Bring the points of the elbows toward each other. Inhale, space in the front of your body. Exhale, curl forward, make space in the back of your body. We'll release the hands, bringing them down. One more clasp back into Yoga Mudra. Feeling the tops of the arm bones drawing back. Arms come back up over your head, moving through cactus, wide elbows, wide fingers. Releasing the hands down. And then we'll lift our back knee. Take your right leg back to down dog. You can do some pedaling with the feet back and forth. And then we'll draw the left leg up, tucking the knee under, carefully stepping the foot up. Let your back knee drop down. We lift ourselves up into Anjaneyasana, low lunge, sweeping the arms high. Finding that placement at the back of the skull so that you're supporting the head as you move back. Release the hands, come back into Yoga Mudra. Drawing the tops of the arm bones back, drawing the shoulder blades back. Inhale, sweeping the arms high. Interlace the fingers, support the back of the head. That feeling of contentment and openness, whatever might come. Back down into Yoga Mudra. Take that inhale right up into the chest, letting it roll up and fill the center of the body. Inhale, arms come up, hands to the back of the head, that position of contentment. Exhale, roll forward. We're going to bring that forward and back movement into it, working with the spine, the upper back especially. Rolling forward on your exhale, space in the back of the shoulders. Inhale, open the elbows, lift your gaze. Moving back and forth like that with your breath. As you inhale, arms come out, drop down into Yoga Mudra. Arms draw back. Palms press together. We'll take the arms up and then out into that cactus position. Feels really good after making all that space around our shoulders. Fingers are open. Sweeping your arms up as you exhale, releasing down. Hands come back down to the earth. Lifting your back knee. We'll step our left foot back into down dog. And any little movements that you need to feel your down dog. We'll drop the knees down. Keep the elbows really tight to the sides. We're going to slide through in between the arms to lower yourself onto your belly. From the belly, taking the arms right out to the sides, lifting the back of the palms up toward the sky. Lifting your head and your upper back. And if it feels okay for your lower back, go ahead and take your legs up too. As your legs are lifting, you're making space in between the toes. On your exhale, release that down. We're going to slide back. Keep the elbows close, slide back, and drop down onto the feet. Nice child's pose. Bring the arms into Yoga Mudra. Rocking the shoulders side to side. As you inhale, lift up into sitting. Back into kneeling mountain pose, really expansive in this kneeling mountain. Exhale, fold down, forehead to the earth. Inhale, expand, fill with air. Exhale, folding down and softening as you breathe out. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhale, letting go as you sink down. We'll take the arms out in front, moving into table. Toes curl underneath. Take some movements in your downward facing dog. And now we're taking the left leg up toward the top of the mat. And then from that left leg, let's go into a high lunge. Get your stance. On your inhale, sweep your arms up, and your exhale brings you into cactus. Just be very careful you don't sink into your lower back. We're going to create some movement here. Inhale, arms come up, straighten your front knee. Exhale, bend into your front knee, bend into the elbows. Inhale, straighten and reach. Exhale, settle down into that opening. Moving as slowly as you need to feel like you have some stability with your balance. We'll end off by taking the hands to the back of the head, that little hammock position. Arms open and release down. We'll move over the left leg into a forward bend. If you have mosquitoes biting you, you might be scratching your ankle like I am. Finding a release as you let yourself come over the left leg. Bending the knee if that stretch becomes too intense. Use your inhale to lift back up. Arms open out to the sides into a wide T. Then come down and frame your left foot. We're going to go ahead and switch over to the other side. Swing your left leg back and drop it down. Drop your knees down, and we'll do that inchworm movement right in between the arms. Lower yourself out onto your belly, and then find an inhale, lifting into a boat. Legs come up, chest and head come up. We'll reverse that, sliding back. We'll reverse inchworm. Curling the toes underneath, lifting up into your downward facing dog, and then we'll go to the right side. Take your right leg, sweep it up, and bring it in between your hands. Inhale, come up into your high lunge. Get your stance really stable because we know we're going to be moving on this side. Exhale, elbows bend into cactus, front knee bends into lunge. Inhale, straighten the arms, straighten the leg. Slow, steady movements. It's a tricky, dynamic balance movement, going up and down in your lunge. Keeping your focus. From there, bringing the arms to the back of the head, hammock position. Feeling that contentment in your pose wherever you are. Bringing the arms back up. And we're going to go into our forward bend. We fold down over the right leg. The right leg doesn't have to necessarily be all the way straight. You could soften the knee if you feel like the hamstrings are getting a little bit too much stretch. You can really get yourself into the perfect amount of stretch that way. We'll hop the back foot in a little bit. Draw ourselves back up through our high lunge and then sweep it back down. Hands to the floor. Right leg is going to swing back. Downward facing dog. A little pedaling with the feet. Drop your knees down. We'll take our inchworm, sliding the chest right in between the arms, lower onto your belly. Inhale right up into a boat, lifting the head and the upper back, lifting your legs. Releasing yourself down and reverse that inchworm, slide it back. Back into child's pose. A little bit of a rest there. The arms come into yoga mudra and we use that to draw up into sitting, into hero pose. Inhale, kneeling mountain, expand. Exhale, child's pose with yoga mudra. Release the arms. Inhale, sweep up high, kneeling mountain. And then we'll start to prep for our camel pose, opening the front of the body. So for prep, turning the fingers to face down toward the floor. And you're resting right on the gluteal muscles. You want to draw the back of the pelvis down to create space in the front of your hips, in your hip flexors. Then let yourself drop down and rest for a moment. That was just your warm-up. Inhaling, coming back up, sweeping the arms high, hands into that hammock position. Then you can drop them down. This time, I'm going to go a little bit deeper. You don't necessarily have to take the deeper version if you want to stick with the prep. Either resting the hands on the heels or maybe onto the floor. Finding that space in the front of your hips. Folding it down. Hands to the forehead. Hands to the earth. And we'll end our practice for Santosha or contentment there. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you will follow our other Yama and Niyama practices as well. Namaste.